G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website and YouTube channel Kangaroo Court of Australia. Now, I've just published a new article on Ben Roberts-Smith, his defamation case, which has been reserved. The judgment's been reserved since February last year, 2024, but it's been set down for another 2 days hearing. And the reason it's been sent down for another 2-day hearing is because a recording of journalist Nick McKenzie has been leaked, where he's talked about having confidential information in relation to the legal tactics of Ben Roberts-Smith. Now, the article was published on Sunday, the 6th of April, 2025, and it starts off, Ben Roberts-Smith defamation appeal with judgment reserved since the 16th of February, 2024. It's set down for another 2-day hearing after a recording was leaked of 9 journalist Nick McKenzie. In the recording, McKenzie talks to Ben Roberts-Smith's ex-girlfriend, who was a witness person 17, and who claimed she was assaulted by Roberts-Smith, that how 9 were being fed inside information from Roberts-Smith's ex-wife and a friend about Roberts-Smith's legal tactics for the defamation hearing. Roberts-Smith's lawyers argue, because of what is on the recording, the appeal should be allowed in Ben Roberts-Smith's favour because there has been a miscarriage of justice and a denial of a fair trial because of Nick McKenzie's misconduct. Failing that, the lawyers argue the matter should be retried. Now, the key finding against Ben Roberts-Smith was that on the balance of probabilities, he was a war criminal who murdered innocent civilians, and the leaked recording has nothing to do with those findings. There's now a 2-day interlocutory hearing to deal with the secret recording set down on the 1st and 2nd of May 2025 before Justice Perham, Justice Katzman and Justice Kennett in the Federal Court of Australia. Justice Nye Perham told the parties on Monday, 31st of March 2025, that one of the 3 judges who heard the appeal last year, Justice Anna Katzman, retires at the start of June, and we have to wrap this up. How the recording was leaked, as per the affidavit of Monica Allen. Paragraph 7 of her affidavit says, I'm informed by Paul Sylvans, principal of Mark O'Brien Legal, that on the 15th of March 2025, at 2:54 a.m, he received an email from Elroy Ferris at Proton ME entitled Paul, Secret McKenzie Recording, with attached an audio recording. A copy of the email is at page 1 of the exhibit. Paragraph 8, she says, at or about 8 p.m. on the 24th of March 2025, Sky News broadcast a segment presented by Shari Marks and of and concerning the recording. Sky News also published on its website an article entitled Explosive Confessions from Star 9 reporter caught on secret tapes, exposed tricks against Ben Roberts-Smith, war crimes trial. My article goes on to say there would have to be a good chance that Ben Roberts-Smith or his lawyers, as per paragraph 7 and 8, above leaked the recording to Murdoch's propagandist at Sky News, Shari Marks, and a transcript of the full recording is in the paperwork filed, which I'll read out some of the key parts now. Nick McKenzie said on the recording, you've got that. Danielle and Emma like trying to tell you, yet again, I know you won't burn me, so you can't tell Dean, please, or Monique, or anyone that I've told you this. McKenzie goes on to say, you know the fact they've actively briefing us on his legal strategy. In respect to you, yeah, we're not learning like we anticipated most of it. One of the 2 things we know now, which is helpful, the reason I told you that was to say we've got this and they're not hostile to you despite your worst fears. I've told you that so many times now as well. And I had to tell you that extra bit to sort of prove in your mind. Person 17, which is Ben Roberts-Smith's ex-girlfriend and who accused him of assaulting her, says maybe that's what has to happen so. Nick McKenzie, I shouldn't tell you. I've just breached my fucking ethics in doing that. This is where we're this has put me in a shit position now if Dean knew that, and then I get my ass fucking handed to me on a platter and person 17 says, well, that's where I say to you, no, you've got to trust me as well. I've not done anything. And Nick McKenzie goes on to say, I wouldn't tell anyone else. I haven't told anyone no one else. No one knows about the police investigation. It's a sensitive, ongoing police investigation. Phone taps, task force. There's a whole new task force is being set up in Brisbane, an entire new task force. There's police living in his apartment block under assumed identities as we speak. The guy is fucked. The transcript's fairly incoherent, but it's in the article, so you can go to the article and read it. There's links there for all the documents that have been filed by Ben Roberts-Smith's lawyers. My article goes on to say, Some of the questions to be answered at the two-day hearing on the 1st and 2nd of May 2025. 1. Nick McKenzie says in the recording, "I shouldn't tell you, I've just breached my fucking ethics in doing that." What does McKenzie mean when he says, "I've just breached my fucking ethics"? Number 2, why did Ben Robert Smith's ex-girlfriend, who was witness person 17, record the conversation with Nick McKenzie? And why did she leak it? And why now? And is there a longer recording? And what does it say? Number 3, how long has Ben Robert Smith known about the recording? And how long have his lawyers known? Number 4, who owns the email address elroyferris@proton.me, which sent the recording to Ben Robert Smith's lawyers? Obviously, there's a lot more questions than the above, but they are good enough for starters. Between now and the hearing, and at the hearing, a lot of questions of who, what, when, and where should be answered, but maybe not all the questions, such as who owns the email address elroyferris@proton.me. Normally, the Court of Appeal does not allow witnesses, but given it's set down for a 2-day hearing and it's an interlocutory hearing, there would have to be a big chance of that happening. Otherwise, the judges will be making a judgment based on untested affidavits. Nine's barrister for the defamation trial was Nicholas Owen, senior counsel. He was now a Federal Court of Australia judge. And given what's on the recording, there has to be a possibility he might be called as a witness. As a side note, Ben Robert Smith's lawyer, Monica Allen, who was also Ben Robert Smith's ex-girlfriend, has jumped ship from law firm Mark O'Brien Legal, who represented Ben at the defamation case and appeal, to a new law firm, Black Bay Lawyers, and taken Ben Robert Smith with her as a client. In paragraph 4 of her affidavit, it says, "Up until December 2024, I was employed as a special counsel at Mark O'Brien Legal, and subject to the supervision of Mark O'Brien and Paul Sylvans, I had day-to-day conduct of the matter." Paragraph 5 says, "In January 2025, I commenced employment with Black Bay in the role of special counsel," which is a law firm. And my article goes on to say, but maybe Ben Robert Smith changed lawyers because the McKenzie recording was emailed to Paul Sylvans at Mark O'Brien Legal on the 15th of March 2025, which makes him a potential witness. So being prudent, it was a better option to have Monica Allen at Black Bay Lawyers deal with the interlocutory application and hearing. Nick McKenzie. I recall watching McKenzie talking about how stressful the Ben Robert Smith defamation case was and how he'd get up early and go for runs to deal with the stress. Well, imagine hearing your own voice on Sky News talking about how Nine's lawyers had used inside information about Ben Robert Smith's legal tactics. Nick McKenzie's heart would have ended up in his throat because it is no ordinary defamation case. The total court costs have been estimated at between $30 to $35 million, and Nine had costs awarded to them when they won, which has to be paid by Channel 7 owner Kerry Stokes, who funded Ben Robert Smith's case. But if Nine lose appeal, that will be reversed in Ben Robert Smith's favour. And if the Nick McKenzie recording has an impact on the appeal, then that's on him. Closing arguments. Witness 17 was only involved in the defamation case because of a domestic violence allegations against Ben Robert Smith, that he punched her in the face, which was reported by Nine. So Robert Smith also sued for that allegation. While the judge did not find the news outlets had proven the former soldier committed an act of domestic violence in 2018 against his former lover, dubbed Person 17, the judge did find Ben Robert Smith engaged in an intimidatory, threatening and controlling towards Person 17. It's a long stretch that the recording with and about Person 17 somehow undermines the evidence given by numerous soldiers against Ben Robert Smith about the war crimes and murder. But with Kerry Stokes on the hook for $30 million or more, he would have a huge incentive to spend another million or so having a roll of the dice on the interlocutory hearing. And I expect it was only going ahead because Stokes approved it. It was also a bit rich for Ben Robert Smith to accuse Nine of playing dirty pill given his conduct during the court case. I published an article in February 2022 titled "Powerful Prima Facie Case" to charge billionaire Kerry Stokes, Ryan Stokes and Ben Robert Smith with attempting to pervert the course of justice. Now that's in relation to the defamation case. And my article finishes off, there are so many interested parties and moving parts to the case, it's hard to keep track of them all. And because there are so many moving parts, this case is a certainty to end up in the High Court of Australia. Now, I'll put a link to that article below this video on YouTube, so you can click on that. It's well worth going to. There's a lot more information there. You can click on all the links in the article to read the further information. And please do your bit to help shine a light on corruption and share this video on social media. And please hit the like and subscribe button and notification button. That way you get notified every time I publish a new video. Kangaroo Court of Australia is independent media. I publish a website and a YouTube channel. I'm 100% crowdfunded from viewers like yourself. So please support my Patreon account or PayPal account. You can donate any amount, $3, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50 a month, whatever suits your budget. Or you can do one-off donations. And you can go to my website on the donation page. There's other donation options. Other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.